So guys, flipping to the back side of our notes, a whole bunch of word problems. And again, I was joking when I said I know you guys all love word problems. Even as a math teacher, I get a little anxiety when I see a word problem I've never encountered before. So sometimes it takes me, if I go through too fast, I miss something and I make a silly mistake. So one of the things with this is getting comfortable with, it says write and solve an equation. So in order to get full credit on something like this, just give me the answer is not enough. I need you to be able to write equations. And so this is something that I expect you guys are able to do and are going to be able to do, you know, throughout this year and kind of moving forward. So being able to write those equations is kind of the toughest part of this. Now, sometimes they use weird terms like these. Like, so the output of a function is 9 less than 10 times the input. That's kind of a confusing idea. But the output, they're giving you this information. They're giving us the answer as the output. So it said the output of a function is 9 less than 10 times the input. Find the input if the output is x. So they're giving us the answer here. Is 11, is 11. How do I write that in an equation? What does is show up as in an equation, do you know? Yeah. It's going to be equals 11. Yep, so this is going to be equals 11. So either way you want to write it, the 11 on the left or the right, that's the output, that's the answer. The output of a function is 9 less than 10 times the input. 9 less than 10 times the input. So the input we don't know. They say find the input, so that's going to be my x. 9 less than 10 times the input. Anyone want to venture how they're going to set that up? 9 less than 10 times the input. Yeah?
Would it be 10x minus 9?
Yeah, you're going to do 10 times the input, and then you actually have to subtract 9 off of them. That's confusing. I think we talked about that maybe a little bit. Oh no, this was in my geometry class and getting classes mixed up. But when I say 9 less than, if I say, you know, you're 9 years younger than your older sibling, you're going to take your older sibling's year and subtract 9. Okay. So how do we solve this then? This is our equation. What are we going to do now? Add 9. So I'm going to get 20 equals 10x. And so then we clearly can solve this, that our x, or our input, ends up being just 2. Bless you. So now these next few, trying to kind of show you guys kind of how equations can kind of be used in everyday life. And you might say, well, I would never write an equation to figure that out. But you kind of are when you're figuring it out. Like you're just kind of skipping over the writing part. So it says your brother signs a lease for an apartment. He needs to pay the landlord 2 months' rent and a $50 deposit. The total amount he pays that landlord is $2,800. How much is the rent for 1 month? Now, in this case, again, I know some of you guys are like, I just want to solve that without writing an equation. I really asked you guys to write an equation. What's our unknown in this case? What don't we know? What are we looking for? Yeah, Clayton. What the 1 month rent is. So our x is going to be a month's rent. Guys. So 1 month's rent is our unknown. And Lauren, I see you setting this up. Can I ask you what you wrote on the right side of the equation? You're right, but I just want to.
2x plus 500.
So she said 2x, 2 months rent. So if it's 1 month, it's x. If it's 2, it's 2x. But then you have to add that $500 deposit. So the deposit is kind of, they call it like security deposit, that you pay that, and it's just kind of like a general amount you have to pay. Make sure you don't break the place. And we know it should add up to $2,800. So 2 months rent plus that security deposit will equal the total amount. And so we want to get that alone. We want to figure out what x is. So we're going to, what do you do first, you guys? Minus that 500, very good. And this will tell us what the rent is for 2 months, but we only want 1 month. And so we're going to divide by 2 to figure out our rent. Our rent's a little pricey wherever he is, so is that what we end up with?
Believe it or not, at my house, oh wait, no, that's an apartment, my house is not an apartment.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I guess if you're in like a college town or something, that might be possible. I don't know. But yeah, it's a lot of money. Being a grown-up is expensive. All right. All right. All right, looking at this next one, a pizza shop charges $9 for a cheese pizza. If additional toppings are $1.25 per topping, and Mary paid $15.25 for a pizza, how many toppings did she order? So again, I know a lot of you guys want to bypass the writing an equation for it, but I really asked you guys kind of go through those steps with me just so I can see what you're up to. So, so what's our unknown again? I guess I'm going to ask that first. What don't we know? What don't we know in this case? Yeah, Clayton?
How many toppings you have?
Yep, and the question tells us that. How many toppings did she order? So that's our question mark. That's our unknown. So the number of toppings. So $9 for a cheese pizza, $1.25 per topping. Which one gets the X? Which one does the X stick by? The $1.25, because that's the one that can change as we add more. So $1.25 times the X is going to tell us how much she paid for toppings. But she has to pay for just the pizza, like just the plain pizza. So that's that we're adding on that $9. And we want to figure out what would make it cost $15.25. And obviously there's other ways you can do this. You can kind of just keep adding $1.25 and counting up. But the equation kind of helps me to see what you're thinking. So move this 9 over. So this is going to be, what is it? Not negative. So is it 6.25? Yeah. And then we're going to divide by $1.25. And I'm assuming it's 5 toppings because you probably can't have part of a topping, right? She's got lots of her pizza. You guys ever been to like one of those glazed pizza places, or the Mod, I think is the name of it? Mr. Donahue loves that because he loves putting tons of toppings on your pizza. You can put whatever you want on it, and they don't charge you extra. You get like your own personal pizza. So good. There's none around here, but it's like out on the south side or the west side of the city. All right, Chet earns a base salary of $500 per month as a salesman. So he gets that regardless if he doesn't sell anything at all. He also earns $90 per product he sells. If his goal is to earn $5,000 in the month, how many products must he sell? So this again is kind of a real life scenario that someone who's a salesperson, like when they talk about commission, it's like how much they actually sell. So whatever this product is. So we don't know how many products he has sold or wants to sell yet. And again, he makes $500 if he doesn't sell anything at all. So if he just sits in, his office and doesn't go anywhere, doesn't sell anything, he makes $500. But he would like to make $5,000. So he's got some work to do. $90 per product. So it's going to be 90x. We want it to equal 5,000. So we're going to move that 500 over. So this is going to be 4,500. And so he'd have to sell, what is that, 50? 50 of whatever product it happens to be. And if it's like houses, might be a lot. If it's cars or something else, like something smaller, kind of depends. Alright, so for homework, it's listed here for you guys. I listed it, did I list it that way for you guys on your paper? Yeah, okay. So I was trying to do like multiples of 3 again, and then I decided I was just being confusing. So again, the 2 pages are the same pages that we had before, it's just we're doing different problems off those pages. So just be careful to notice the pages and which numbers you should be doing on those. Hope I'll get you a book in a second. But otherwise, everything should be on Schoology as well, okay?